This morning I put out a stream that I shouldn't have. I was in no state mentally to put out that stream. And bad shit happens. There's no reason to be a crybaby about it. What's up, you heathens and demons, you beautiful blasphemous people? I'm going to redo what I did this morning, and I'm going to do it right. And I want to ask everybody to just kind of forget about my money woes that I was crying about. And you know, bad shit happens. You survive, and I will, because I always have. And that's not really what's getting me down. And I think it's time to address some of my mental health issues that I've been dealing with. Now, I'm not sitting here trying to tell any of y'all that I'm going crazy or that I have depression, because I don't. But I have some serious shit that's going on, and I really just want to be transparent with you guys about what's going on with me physically. So I was born here in Battle Creek, Michigan, and I'm going to be continuing my atheist story, and I'm going to label this part of that atheist story because I'm going to be talking about what's going on with me right now. But I grew up, I was born here in Battle Creek, but we went to North Carolina at a very young age. My dad moved us down there permanently when I was in the 4th grade. And we would always visit our mom, but we were raised in the South. We were raised in this hard-working, blue-collar atmosphere in a very rural town. And you're raised to work for what you get in this life. You're raised to not take handouts, to not take charity. You're raised to be a hard worker and to do manual labor. And I've pretty much done manual labor my entire life, whether it be in restaurant work, construction work, or factory work. Now, I had some injuries as a teenager that really messed up my right leg. And I've talked about that a little bit with you guys. Talked about how Tommy John surgery was brand new at the time, and my dad decided not to go that route because we didn't really know if it would work, and it was a lot of money. And I've always had issues with my right ankle. So I've pretty much went through my adult life with pain in my right leg. It was about 4 years ago that I started getting holes in my right leg. And when I say holes, I mean holes. And I wouldn't know where they were coming from. And that actually was longer than that. It was about 6 or 7 years ago when I started getting those holes, because it was about 4 years ago when I actually went to the doctor. So, you know, I would get these holes and they wouldn't heal fast. I mean, sometimes they would take months and months to heal. I actually have one on my arm. I'll show you guys. They're starting to appear on my arms, and you know, it's a scab, but it's a hole, and it's scabbed over, and they don't go away. You know, and you know, I never really went to the doctor much. I've never really had health insurance. So you know, throughout my adult life, I've avoided doctors. I've avoided dentists. I've avoided anything that costs too much money. I've been fairly transparent that I've been poor my entire life, and that's all due to bad decisions I've made throughout my life. I don't run away from that. It is what has made me the person I am. I'm stronger for it, I think. I'm smarter for it, I think. But, you know, it got to a point, I got this one hole in my leg that it didn't go away. And it was there for a year. And it never got smaller, and it was very big, and it was very deep. And I would work on it. And I was working in a factory at that time, and I was working 12-hour days, 7 days a week. Well, it got a staph infection eventually, and I had no choice but to go to the doctor. And I found out that I had vein disease, and basically, you know, my skin's exploding. So because the blood isn't pumping properly. I had surgery, and it took care of, I had surgery in my right leg, and it took care of that problem. But the infection had seeped down into the bone a bit. I've known for 4 years that I was going to lose my right leg at some point, and it's probably coming sooner than I want it to. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. But I think that's good for the video because it's what I'm dealing with. So 4 years ago, I got that news that I would be losing my right leg at some point. But I also got the news that that the vein disease that I have is spreading rapidly. They don't really understand why. But they did, even back then, they didn't. They knew my left leg would start going before anything else, and my left leg has been going bad for about a year. I'm not getting the big holes in my left leg, but I'm starting to get discoloration in my left leg. Well, for about this last 7 months, I've been getting the holes in my arms and circulation issues in my arms. And I've been avoiding going to the doctor because my right leg is really bad now. And that, and I have a recurring nightmare about a saw. Because I imagine that's what they're going to use to take my leg. And it's really drained my mental health. So I'm not quite sure where I left off. I had to get myself together. But I've been dealing with this shit for a long time now. And I'm dealing with it with a very young daughter that I've got to take care of. So I've ignored going to the doctor because I can't lose my leg. I can't not work. Fighting for disability is a process that I'm not going to see anything from it for a while. We have to live now. So it's really affected my mental health. Just constant worrying, constant, am I going to be able to take care of my child? And it's one of the reasons why I've really tried to start taking this YouTube thing a bit more seriously. It has led to a lot of inner reflection about myself and some of the things that I've been saying, and really, where a lot of this rage has come from here on A Raging Atheist. I've recently changed my name back to A Raging Atheist. It's one of the things that I was trying to deal with in the live stream, and I just wasn't there mentally to do so. Bad shit happened yesterday, and it had nothing to do with my health and everything to do with my finances, and I shouldn't come crying about that shit. Bad shit happens, we move on, and we survive. But I really wanted to talk about that name change because I have been raging, and I think a lot of it has been because I'm dealing with all of this shit that I shouldn't be dealing with at 42 years of age. I don't know why I have this vein disease at such a young age. I shouldn't have it yet. It is hereditary. I was probably going to get it at some point. But I shouldn't have it yet. And it shouldn't be as progressed as it is. But it is. And I've got to face the fact that I'm going to lose my leg. And I've got to face the fact that the doctors are probably going to tell me I can't work anymore. And I got to figure out how to take care of my daughter. I've had people in my life telling me for months to go to the doctor. But I don't talk about these things much. I share more with you guys than I share with people that's in my life. I'm a pretty closed person in real life. You guys have been my therapy. So I've come on here and I've raged because I have a lot of rage. It's not fair. It's not fair. My daughter don't deserve this shit. I've worked hard my whole life. Even when I was being irresponsible, I've always worked. But I will survive. I have no doubt about it. I'll figure it out. I'll do what I have to do, and I'll keep talking to you guys as long as I'm here. As long as I can. You know, YouTube might be the thing that helps us in the future get through. I just gotta find something in the meantime, and maybe it's social programs that I never wanted to, ask for before. Maybe it's, maybe disability won't take that long. My mom fought for disability for years, and it's gonna be part of the atheist story when we get there. For years and years, I have very personal reasons to think that disability won't be coming anytime soon. Not even if I lose my leg. Maybe I'm wrong. But I have good reason to think that I'm not. So I wanted to do this video just to let you guys know that I'm dealing with some shit, and I want to show you my legs. I've done it before, but I'm gonna do it again. So this is my right leg. You don't really see the discoloration as bad as it is because I think the sun is glaring, but there's a lot of discoloration, but you can see where all the holes was. Here, let me get a better angle for you. You can see where all the holes was, and then you get down into my foot and just how wrecked it is. The discoloration in my toes right there is new. That's my right leg. My left leg isn't near as bad, but you can see where the discoloration is starting there. Getting down, more discoloration. The veins are starting to pop out. So the left leg is starting to really give me problems as well. For about 3 years now, I've been using alcohol to self-medicate myself and to deal with the mental issues I've been having, to push those mental issues down, away, to forget about them. It's become a real problem. I've got to really face a lot of my issues. I've got to stop using this crutch, and I've got to get to the doctor. And I'm not going to be talking about it much, but I'm going to be dealing with it. And I wanted you guys to understand maybe a little better where the rage came from. Maybe understand a little better with some of the things that I'm dealing with. And let you know that, I'm going to keep doing what I do. But I'm going to be dealing with this for forever. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if, I'll lose everything. This is one of the main reasons why I've been so staunch universal health care, because I've lived the harsh side of that system. And now I am facing ruin, because I'm not going to be able to work in this worker society anymore. And I got a young daughter that's dependent on me. But that stream this morning, it was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. You know, what happened to me yesterday, that type of shit happens. It just happens sometimes. I'm never gonna try to do that. I'm just gonna deal with it, and I'm gonna move on, and I'm gonna keep making videos, and I'm gonna keep doing live shows, right up until I can't no more. But I need to get this shit out, and I've been talking to a lot of people about this privately, and getting advice, and people just trying to get through my stubbornness, my refusal to acknowledge the reality of the situation. And I acknowledged it, I just didn't want to see it. Because I see it every night when I go to sleep. That saw coming down. But it's time to stop running from it. It's time to stop being afraid of it. It's time to get it over with. So I wanted to let you guys know that. And I really want you to check out the live stream tonight. It's going to be a great power panel. And I'm going to get my shit together and deal with this fucking crisis. Finally. You know, I didn't do what they told me to do because I was afraid. And now the time has come. Got to recognize our faults, and we got to recognize our fears, and we got to recognize when we totally mess up. You know, it's the way the cookie crumbles, and you deal with what you deal with, and you move on because you're strong, and I'm strong. I'll get over it. I want to thank you guys for your support. I mean, you guys are beautiful. I want to thank you for the encouraging words when I decided to switch directions. And I just really want to thank you guys for being here. Because I've never let any of this shit out before. I don't talk about it with people. You guys have been my therapy. You guys have been what's kept me sane. And I'm grateful. I'll see you soon.